Yeah, we're live. We're live.
Yeah. Welcome, everyone. My name is Manish Shah, and I'm at Lake Forest Graduate School in Chicago. Let me introduce today's holistic science expert, Shailesh Anandji. Dr. Shailesh Mehta, or we call him Dr. Shailesh Anandji, is a practicing ophthalmologist in Vadodara. In childhood, he was curious about life. He came in touch with self-realized holistic scientist Sri A.M. Patel. Dr. Mehta attained self-realization in 1977. Dr. Mehta is celibate and is deeply experienced in the field of holistic inner science. He devotes his time to studying, researching, and spreading a message of holistic inner science. In his quest to spread the message of holistic science, he has traveled to countries such as USA, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. His speeches on holistic science have been well received at national and international conferences. He's the author of several books, which include Introduction to Holistic Science and Integral Living and Science of Liberation. Welcome, Shailesh Anandji. So today's topic, Shailesh Anandji, is about managing familial relationships, relationships with your spouse, your children, your other family members, using the principles of holistic science. So if you don't mind getting us started with an introduction, that would be very helpful.
Okay, so my greetings to all the seekers and holistic science practitioners across the world. Uh, when we think of relations in a present day scenario, of course, my relations with my wife, my children, my parents, my other family members, and when it extends my colleagues or co-workers at the workplace, in the society, my neighbors, my friend circles, and everywhere I go. And why only that we do have relations, whomsoever we come across, maybe our critics also, maybe our opponents also, maybe buyers and sellers also have relations, maybe the professional service giver or professional service takers have also relations. In other way, whenever the two humans meet and have any interaction, maybe mere eye to eye contact or maybe more, it turns out to be a relation, I would say, because there is a relative dealings. And obviously, we each one of us do expect that, oh, in each relation, I receive happy, harmonious, cordial behavior or sort of attitudes from others. Or I do have happy, harmonious, warm, cordial, hearty relations with each person. But at the same time, when we look at the reality, we do feel that even husband and wife, they stay together, but the minds may not always be cohesive or staying in harmony, and they may have different dissatisfactions or differences, sometimes turning into disputes, sometimes even leading to clashes and whatnot. So the hearts may not be harmonious. Similarly, at everywhere in the family right now, we observe the situation that the children have different personalities. We have different personalities, likes and dislikes. Our viewpoints are different. Their viewpoints are different. Our parents' viewpoints are different. And probably, even though each one of us are aspiring for happy, harmonious, loving, caring, sharing relations, in reality, probably most of us face the difficulty to adjust with each other or harmonize with each other because all personalities are different. And that is, even at the workplace or everywhere we go, there can be one of the two scenarios. Either it can be happy, harmonious, positive, loving, caring, sharing situation, or it can be a situation of little stress relations, little distrust upon each other, or little dissatisfaction about each other's behaviors and whatnot. Of course, each one of us do aspire for the first situation. And when it is not happening, normally my mind and my intellect points the finger at others that I'm doing everything for my family, but why my wife doesn't understand me? Why my children are not able to understand me? So this is a most common complaint of human mind that the others don't understand me, even though I mean it in a good way, even though my intent is good and I'm doing everything and even sacrificing. But so this is the routine scenario. And then when it comes to me, from this holistic perspective, I started thinking that whether I should manage the others and look at the others to have the happy, harmonious relations, or whether should look within myself. And when I started looking within myself, I first realized that is my relationship with my relative self of mind, speech, and body really harmonious? Is that not important? Before putting any other relations at the center, should I not put my own relation of my own inner self with my mind, speech, and body in a first focus? And should I try to manage or improve or handle my wife and my children and my other relations? Or should I try to handle my own mind or manage my own mind and my own intellect or my own relative inner self, or so to say, speech? So, before going to wonderful, basic, simple aspects of holistic inner science, it occurred to me that if I cannot manage my relative self in that situation, if my feelings are out of my control, if my speech is out of my control, my negative opinions are out of my control, and if I cannot make myself understand, how can I manage the others? One who cannot manage one's own self cannot manage any other relations or any other people. So, having said that, the focus comes within us first rather than to look outside. So, let's start with some basic, simple things which holistic inner science made me understand and totally changed my outlook 180-degree diagonally from what the world is tuned to look at to the other side. So, it taught me that if I decide to give happiness to others, it's not upon others to make the relation happy and harmonious. It's up to me to make the relation happy and harmonious. So if I decide that, okay, I'll take care of my wife, my children, so let them be happy with my mind, speech, and body, or wherever for any human being, or more than that, any living being, let my mind, speech, and body offer happiness. So any act of happiness, offering happiness, maybe distributing few chocolates to few children on the birthday of the grandson, or maybe deciding to help someone, maybe deciding to guide someone, and it will make me happy first. So it starts with me that I have to decide. It's my inner intent, inclination, and resolution that whosoever has come across in my life in one or other way, let my mind, speech, and body oblige them, help them, make them happy. So if I have that attitude, naturally, first my heart will be full and the vibrations will go outside positive. Most of the times it will work with the other people. Supposingly, if it is not working with other people, or the what the human mind expects is reciprocation. And if the reciprocation is not coming, we stop doing that. So, but now the holistic science taught me the lesson too, that it's not that for somebody else I'm doing this, it's for me and my self interest I'm doing this. So it is up to their understanding whatever they want to do to me. But my understanding is very clear that even if they want to give me negative energy or something critic, if I also respond in the same way, I'm going to be unhappy and will make the situation more messed up. So let me absorb that and let me give back the positive energy, or let me make them happy even if they are giving some unhappiness. So that always keeps my heart full and happy and harmonious. So this is the first golden key to have the good relations, or the relations, fulfilling relations, I would use the word. And on the other side, when I look that whenever my mind, speech, or body is going to hurt others, something happens and my mind has negative opinion for my wife, for my children, for my other co-workers. And if I cannot overcome that negative opinion, naturally it will be expressed in my speech, or it will be expressed in my attitudes or behavior or through my eyes. And there, even before it goes out and hurt the other people, it will disturb me first. Any negativity, anything, seeing anybody's fault, anything will hurt me first. So the principle is very simple, that if I want to remain happy and have the fulfillment at the level of heart, I should decide first that let my mind, speech, and body make one and all happy, and let my mind, speech, and body not hurt anybody. And it's not for others, but for my own sake. Now, if we carry it ahead, with this understanding, world is me only. In a relation, we always feel that is it is the other, wife is the other, children are other, they are others, and the other should behave like this. But the holistic science taught me that there is no other in the world, it is me only and my own projection. It's my own world. So let me take care of this, my own world, in my own way. How it is me only? Because each action of my mind, speech, and body before affecting others do affect me first, positively or negatively. So as a husband, I decide that let me take care in the best possible way of my wife's comforts, or her mind, that I'm not doing for herself, but I'm doing for my sake. Similar way with my children, I'm doing for my sake and not for their sake, primarily in the, if we look at the natural laws. So this change of attitude from our side, I think it changes a lot of things. And as I also told that about, if I understand the science, somebody has to put it on mute because its echo is coming back. So I request everybody to put their computers on mute. So similarly, reciprocation we already understood. People say expect love. See, the what I understand is over and above happiness and harmony and cordiality or caring and sharing, what we expect, or what we all human beings are hungry of, is something like true love. And if we find love, we'll forget all shortcomings, all discomforts, and all shortage of things. But do we ever get real love? Do we ever get true love? And that's one thing. So again, the people say that, okay, I am trying to love them or him or her, but they are not loving me, or they are not reciprocating. What can I do? And here the enlightened ones, the wise ones, have different attitude again. Irrespective of whether they love or they don't love, I love them. In that case, my heart will always remain full. It is unilateral and unconditional. In fact, love is one which is free of conditions and expectations. It's not a bargain game. It's not a barter system, give and take, or you do good to me and I will do good to you. No, it's my understanding that I love everyone. And that's how they feel the universe as one family. All living beings, they feel it is me only, and they have unconditional love for all living beings of the universe. So this simple change of understandings, little understandings, and the things change. Now, if we take this ahead, what happens is, as I said, especially in a modern time, each one's personalities are different. We have different likes and dislikes. We like to remain introverted and less talkative and use only the words required. And our wife likes to talk a little more. She's a talker. She, unless we talk, she doesn't feel that we are good with her. The things are lively. So the personalities are way apart. Somebody wants to use money conservatively, somebody wants to use it more lavishly, and how to maintain the relations here. So here the step 3 is, if we go to garden, we have all different plants and trees and all different, but each one has different flowers and fruits. but none without fruit or a flower. So I need to identify that, oh, this is a rose plant. It has a beautiful flower, but a thorn too. Somebody may be outspoken, but good at heart. And I should find out that, oh, this is a neem tree, looks bitter, tastes bitter, but have so many medicinal properties. So try to understand each one's personality and what are the positive abilities or skills, fruits and flowers, and keep away from the thorns or the negativities. And in that, with that attitude, I think not only I will be happy, not only I will be able to adjust everywhere, but I'll be really having fulfilling or a rich relations with wherever I go. So holistic inner science taught me that it is not up to the other people to have or that the relations will become happy or harmonious. It is in a worldly language it is, but in really speaking, the world is my own projection. It is my own inner attitudes and my own inner understanding and my own inner way of dealing with the things which really makes the relation happy, harmonious, positive, meaningful, loving, caring, sharing, whatever word you use. So this way, if we apply to any situation, and what happens when the other person is giving you, you are doing good to other person in your understanding, or you are right, I am right, but the other person is not understanding me or harassing me or giving me some problems. So here again, the step 4 is I have to understand that I am right by my own viewpoint, my own understanding. But each person may be right by his or her own understanding or viewpoints. So it happens very commonly at home that we feel that, okay, we should go to garden this time or we should go to movie, and wife feels that there is a lot of work at home, let's go for shopping first, there is no groceries at home, and we feel that why groceries at this time. So there are going to be different scenarios and different instances, but everybody has their perspectives, situations and circumstances. So I should understand and keep aware that as I feel I am right, everybody may be right by his or her own viewpoint. So let's be considerate. Humanity is one which is considerate about everyone's viewpoints. If I say only I am right, then it is going to go apart because the other person will also feel I am also right. And the insistence or adamancy will put the things apart. So these are some common sense understandings. It's said to be common sense understandings. Again, when it comes to relations of a professional or you are a one who is providing goods or providing services, and the smart people and the business managers always think that what's my profit and what's my gain into this, and that's where all stresses start because the consumer also says my rights and why not this and you are fooling me and whatnot. So here the holistic science says that in whatever capacity I am, I should have inner attitude that how can I serve the others best or how can I make others happy? How can I oblige others? If I'm manufacturer, I should think that how my products can give good value to the consumers, how my colleagues, employees, shareholders' interests can be preserved. If my main product, my main intent is to look at the others' interests or others' happiness, believe me, not only it makes me happy first, but my earnings, my credibility, my trustworthiness, respect, love, everything will come to me free of cost as a byproduct. But because in a commercial world of today, our main product has been wrong, we are running after making more and more figures of money and whatnot. Our we are falling into trap of stress relations. So if we change our attitude and understanding a little bit, I think there is no reason that in this world why it can't be a beautiful. In fact, it is other way around. The world is so hungry of a truthful people, of a good hearts and good a little bit of love that if they see anywhere a little bit of even little bit of that, they will their hearts will be so full and they will be loyal to you, I would say, or friendly and faithful to you. So it is a friendliness, and friendliness means in our heart, it is not that my interest stands first over my friend's interest. It's always the friend's interest which is standing first. So I think with this little change of things, understanding and attitudes, uh, relations can be not only enriched, but it can be really lovely. So holistic scientists made one simple comment that if people knows only this much how to live with each other well in relations or whatever way, that also goes a long way to make the life really rich, happy, and harmonious. Leave aside the bliss of the real self or the pure self. And when I come inside, I as whatever I'm being, whatever understanding I'm name bearer or I'm pure self, then this is whole inner machinery of mind, intellect, speech, and body. And really, in fact, at each moment, it seems that we are dealing outside, but basically, first dealing happens inside. How I can make my mind understand, how I can make my intellect understand, how can I guide my speech. So, with if the inner understanding is correct, this relative self, my relation with my mind, speech, and body will become harmonious. We always look outside that I don't have good relations or I don't have good relations with all these things, wife, children, or co-workers. Do we ever look that am I happy with my own self? Am I harmonious with my own mind? Is my mind not struggling with me? Is my intellect not having the complaints about each and everything? And am I able to resolve that? So inner relations is the top priority. Unless I can manage, have the resolving answers and get convinced and keep my myself positive, unless I can keep my opinions positive, unless I can have the intellect which is with correct understanding, I think as long as my inner world is not at peace, it is at turbulence and it's having the all the dissents and complaints, my outer world relations cannot be harmonious. So that's all I think I can. It comes to
Yeah.
me as an introduction.
So, Salishanji, I have a couple of questions. Let me start with the first one.
Please.
So, how does how does one manage self? You said, self-management is key to managing relationships with others. So, what are the things? What are some two or three practical things we can do in this area?
Yes, that's how I started. That initially I had the understanding that if others give me happiness, I was expecting the happiness and goodness from others. Now I change my understanding that let my mind, speech, and body make one and all happy. Let my mind, speech, and body help others. Let my mind, speech, and body not hurt others. In simple words, the incorrect understanding which I was harboring as a normal human being or a normal human person was giving me all sorts of problems inside and outside. Now, with a changed or with a correct understanding, holistic science tells you only two sentences. Incorrect understanding leads to all the things, puzzles or problems inside and outside. The correct understanding will resolve everything. So, at each thing, some simple correct understandings. And once I understand, I have conviction, then it goes to change my inner opinion and inner attitudes, leads to awareness, and it comes, keeps on coming to me. Whenever there is some issue, my inner understanding will come up and will tell my own relative inner self, mind, and intellect, oh, no, this is not this way, this is this way. Please change your understanding. So, this is how my prakriti or personality is constantly being watched and talked and dialogued and guided or directed by this sort of correct understanding which I have or we have acquired through holistic inner science and which we experience that no, this is giving us the happiness and this is resolving the inner and outer issues, not only resolving but leading to positivity and happiness, then it gets reinforced. So with more and more correct understanding like open happiness shop, avoid clashes, adjust everywhere, win your own home. Husband and wife should live as best friends. World is me only. So with some simple correct understandings, I think the inner world or the we can manage the inner self. So people say it is wisdom. Wisdom is nothing but which keeps our own self and in a proper direction, guided, directed, restrained, whatever word you use. And of course, restrains us from going into the wrong directions or being hurtful or being such upset that it would harm us as well as others.
Um, I have a question about giving constructive feedback, Shailesh, in personal
Definitely.
relationships and in professional relationships. So if somebody something that's about things that they need to improve, so it's constructive, it's not sometimes a pleasant feedback that you have to give to your kids or to your peers at work. How do you handle that?
So, well, as I said again, the same principles. Principles are ones which work in all types of situations, and they are simple and pure. So, first and foremost is I'll talk within myself that, okay, you feel that they are not right, or you feel that they should be doing like this. But are you sure? So, first and foremost is I try to see that it is not my opinion biased. It's not my design because everybody has different designs. And even if it is so, then next step I tell myself that, okay, are you blaming them? Are you critic about them? Or are you just taking it normal as their normal personality, like Rose has different personality and Orchid and Jasmine is different, and then trying to say something. So once I'm out of that attitude of advising or criticizing or condemning, my attitude will become friendly, full of love. That, okay, how about if we do in this way? Do you think it will be a proper way of doing the things, or it would yield better results? So it's my inner heart which is reflecting onto them, not the actually the outside behavior or words. Also they do count, but what counts is my bhav, my intent, my sort of what is behind of expressing or not expressing that. So within that I try to change. In short, I try to get rid of the negative opinions before really I express the things. And then I have also the attitude that let my expression should be such that let my mind, speech, or body not hurt them, but make them happy. So the expression becomes really a positive building when my intents and heart is friendly and positive, as well as the expression has four qualities. It should be beneficial, hitkari to others.
Mhm.
It should be concise, short or meat. It should be such that the others love to hear that, not that it will bang their head, or not that they say, why are you doing all these things? And it should be truthful. So any expression which is beneficial, which is concise, which is loved by the others, and which is truthful may be considered a proper expression. If whatever our intent is good, but if we don't know how to put it across, we should try to learn that art and science. And till that, if it is rather than yielding positive, the other person is getting hurt or giving the adverse reactions, then we should stop short of the things and pray from within.
Oh, this is very helpful. As you, I think, mentioned, you can read somebody's intentions through and through. Intention is pure. You can say something that is constructive. It's probably not very pleasant in terms of feedback, and still take it in a positive manner. Versus you say all kinds of things, but your heart is not pure and your intentions are not pure. Then it really comes through in your conversation with the other person.
And
So
one
one
more,
other question that came from the audience, Sailesh Anji, is we are in this game of improving each other. So husband thinks husband can improve the wife. Wife thinks wife can improve the husband. Father thinks they can improve the kids. Kids think their father needs some lesson on self-management. So, what is the holistic science point of view on us getting in this game of
Yeah.
trying to
So,
improve each other?
so holistic science has a very simple say. Nobody can improve others. Improve yourself first. Unless you are improved, you don't expect the others to get improved. In fact, nobody should try to improve the others. One should try to improve one's own self. That's what the holistic science says. And to add one more point to your previous conversation or a question,
Mhm.
what I feel is, or we all feel and experience is, say, everybody has ego. So if I talk in advisory tone, or if I talk, give advice or feedback, believing or that I'm more understand, I have more understanding, or I'm higher, and then the other person's ego, no matter even if she feels it is right, will not be receptive. So I have to become the humble and lower than the other person, and then try to share the things not as an advice but as a piece of friendly sharing. So then probably the ego or the heart will be receptive. So many things are required in this interpersonal dealings or interpersonal communication, especially. So one says that it's art and science of dealing with each other, and especially the art and science of communications. So all these things count a lot. And when it comes to the question of ego, also, see, in every relation, we see that it is Mr. Ego also which comes in between. And only two things happen: either the ego is boosted or gets a boost, or it's hurt. And
Mhm.
here, nobody can be happy, or nobody can maintain any relation whatsoever precious it may be, if anybody's ego is hurt. So again, we resolve along with that, let give me such an inner strength that I will not hurt anybody's ego, not nor make anybody to cause anybody to hurt, or not encourage anybody hurting anyone's ego even to the slightest extent, but rather than take care of that it is not hurt. So many things are coming as a way of understanding, but the understanding is common,
Mhm.
that for my own happiness I decide that let world is me only, and let my mind, speech and body be obliging, making others happy, not hurting anyone's ego and other things.
Makes sense. Sailishan, one more question. Another question from the audience is, these days there are both parents that are working, so they are extremely busy with their professional life. As a result, they don't get enough time to work on their own, as you had mentioned, because self-management is key to all other relationships. So, what are some practical things we can do in this crazy world that can help us in our daily life with our family and other relations?
Well, the answer is long and short. First and foremost, I should talk to myself, that is my life balanced and holistic, means overall. Balanced and holistic, what I mean to say, there are several angles to life. Profession or money earning is one, or career is one. Then my family, wife, and children is another. My own personal health is also there. My spiritual development, my living with society, my living with nation, as well as along with the environment. So all the angles are important in life, not only one angle of earning the money. See, I was at Australia, and a young guy, maybe around 35, 36 years age, and very hearty for the. So please make somebody, again there is an echo.
I need to
And
mute myself.
yeah, he had decided that I'll work hard for 10 years, and he had bought a very big house, and very comfortable house, and asked wife and children to enjoy, and he's working even in the middle of night. And he was working for family, and nice and very hard worker. But his wife lovingly but realistically complained that he's doing everything for us, but he don't have time to sit with us. So she was unhappy about not getting quality time from him. So the key is, I say, make an appointment with the self. We have 8 or 10 hours for appointments with our clients and whatever jobs and other things. Make at least some few minutes appointment with the self. Means get some few minutes to be with the self. Make some time for the family and for the kids. How much may not matter, but how qualitatively are you with them or with your own self? I think that matters. And at the end of the day, for what we are doing all these things, so much of hard work, 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, and what we are doing for what? Money. For what? For this and that. For what? For happiness. So, if we are not enjoying the present moment in happiness, how can we aspire or expect the future to be happy? So, this is what should we be asking ourselves. Whatever we are doing, are we happy in the present moment? Are we balanced and wholesome in the present moment? And take out some time. And that time will always be available. Even on a table of a job or even in a office, there can be few moments where you can be with your own self and others don't know. So those spells or freedom one can always find out. But we lose those important moments in looking at WhatsApp and looking at other things and looking out. And if we are really free, then we put on the TV because we can't talk to our own self. And there is, rather than afraid of being talking to our own self, we engage ourselves outside. So we are offered those time spells, but not knowing how to use them because we don't have the correct vision. The husband feels that, oh, I have brought so much of money and my job is done. But the children don't want only money, they want you. And there was a humorous story that one child asked his father, Dad, what's your 1 hour salary? And dad said, why are you asking this? I'm giving you everything. But please, dad, tell me what is your 1 hour salary? So dad said, okay, $100. Oh, dad, will you lend me $50? Why? I'm giving you so much money. So dejectedly, the child went to his room and started crying. And the father felt that there is something unusual. Went behind and so it's like, so why are you crying? So I'm short of your $50. I'm short of $50. Would I have $50? I would have given you $100 to give me 1 hour of yours. So even though this is imaginary, this talks a lot about things. So have a proper orientation of a balanced and wholesome living. And time is always available. Time doesn't say I'm not available. Time is used as per our understanding, as per our vision. So once my understanding or vision is correct, the time will always be used correctly. Otherwise, it will be used wherever shatteredly. So whatever time is available, spend with yourself and with family, but with love, with full heart, with good attitudes.
So one another question from audience is, what does improve yourself mean in this fast-paced life?
Uh, See, it can be looked from various angles. Simple angle as I have started with is, am I offering happiness with my mind, speech, and body? Am I obliging or am I hurting? On a counterpart, am I getting hurt or am I fulfilled at my heart with my own attitudes and inclinations? Sometimes we humorously say, and we used to do that in seminars, right? That how many marks you give yourself as a husband or as a wife, how many marks you give yourself as a father or as a mother, how many marks you give yourself as a human being. Honestly, don't show it to others. So this is one way of looking at the things, whether my life is balanced and wholesome. The other way of looking at the things is, how can I improve myself, is There are 9 codes of conducts which holistic inner science has. So if you weigh yourself as your mind, speech, and body against that 9 codes of conduct, whether it's hurting anyone's ego, whether the language is hurt and hurtful, whether you are having disrespect or disgust for any living being, something like that. So then you can improve upon them. If you are more subtler and if you want to progress more, you can look at whether you have disputes, differences, clashes, adjustments with others or not, or how can you sail through this situation. Another mode is, in various situations, do you become negative or you can remain positive and pass through that. If you go more subtler, you can examine yourself, how much inner weaknesses do you have apart from opinions. Do you have anger, greed, pride, deceit, attachments, or aversions? And if you still want to improve, try to know what are the truths or realities. Who am I by my what is my true self, or what's my core of being. So there are various parameters and various steps and stations which you can really know and put it as a yardstick or a thermometer and see how you can improve onto that.
So one last question, Shailesh Anandji. We talked about our intimate relationships, close family members. The extended family also comes into play.
Yes.
So how do you prioritize what you need to do for your immediate family, but also not offend your extended family members? Because I'm sure they have certain expectations of you. I mean, you being a surgeon, I'm sure you get pulled in all kinds of directions because people need this, that, and the other. So how do you manage um, this multiple stakeholders in business terms?
No, I understood the point. Yes, I can sense your questions in two respects, that we feel that my mind, speech, and body have some limitations, and my time have some limitations, what the people feel. So how can, in a given energy, in a given time, I should try to handle or manage the things, or in a different sense. But what I have been experiencing is, it's not the limitation of mind, speech, body's energy or time which is really making the difference or making an important parameter. It's my understanding and my attitudes and my inclinations and my resolves which are really making the thing work or not work. And I have felt that whenever my mind feels that no, this is a burden to me, I'm forced to do this and I don't like to, or I should not be doing that, it becomes a burden and it limits my energy. Rather, if my mind and my inner self is happy that okay, I got the opportunity to help somebody, or I got the opportunity to do something for somebody, if it is giving me positivity and joy and fulfillment, believe me, the energy also flows or gets doubled or tripled or quadrupled or whatever time, and the time or things will always be available, because everybody doesn't want me throughout to be there. I can guide somebody on phone, I can direct somebody and connect to the correct person, or I can just see. It happens with me so many times. I have a very extended family, many hundreds of people who, even though I'm an eye surgeon, they come to me for general advice also, and then I put them into correct context and then tell me and call my friend also, okay, what is being done, and tell me. So I just keep a watch that the things go right for them, and then they have that trust and they have that satisfaction also. First I have that satisfaction that okay, I could do the best possible in this given situation. So if my attitudes are correct and if my interests are correct, I think rest of the things will fall in its own place, and nobody will be unhappy. And in fact, your family will also be supportive to you if your things are correct and if you make them understand correctly, because they will also feel that okay, we are also contributing for some good thing or good cause. So it's at the end of the day, how you look at the things which is important. Most of the time, see, a very important aspect is why our human relations go ups and downs or they are not maintained well, because we have the inherent instinct to look what is my benefit into this relation, what do I gain out of this relation. And that's the bugbear. The enlightened ones or the wise ones do not keep that. They keep other way around. What can I give in this relation? What can I offer to them? And that's the basic difference, I think, which makes the whole sea change world. We use the word sea change in the world, or whole change in the world. So I think it's not the limitation of energy, it's not the limitation of time, but it's the limitation or self-made barriers of our understanding and our inclinations and our attitudes, which are really hurdles to us. Hurdles are within and not really outside. So
Yeah.
with little change, I think we can take care in a appropriate way, I would say, of different things or different stakeholders.
Yeah, thank you, Sailesh. This brings us to the end of today's talk. Thanks for enlightening us and informing us on how best we can manage our family relationships, professional relationships using the principles of holistic science. I think one of the most profound things for me from this talk was you can't be looking outside, you need to look at you first. If you really want to be effective in your personal dealings and professional dealings, if you don't have your act together, then the rest doesn't matter. So any final words before we say goodbye?
Yeah. The holistic science says change your vision and the world will change. Change your glasses and world will change. Don't change the world, change your glasses. So new
Your
vision and
glass.
the world will be new. That's in short. I say new vision, new world.
So thanks everybody for joining. We'll see you in third Sunday of December. Have a good night, Sailesh Anandji, and good morning to everybody else in the US.
Thank you. Bye.